Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us at this live session from MAHSA University Saujana Putra campus. I am Murni Amira binti Muhammad Aminuddin. I am the lecturer at the Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHSA University, and I will be moderating today's session. Today's webinar entitled Microalgae, the Solution for Global Warming is proudly organized by the Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHSA University. Dear viewers, before we proceed further, I would like to give you a brief overview of the program offered by the Faculty of Health Sciences at MAHSA University. Under the Faculty of Health Sciences, we have three different departments, which is the School of Physiotherapy, Department of Environmental Health, Department of Medical Imaging. And why you need to join health sciences is because we have high job demand due to the essential services. We have no boring work routine where we have wide range of specialization and we have low risk of job automation in which the graduate is hard to be replaced by the machinery and also the robots. You can work in variety of setting and also you have a career you can feel good about because it involves helping people. And infinite excellence is what MAHSA aspire to provide to each of our graduates. So, like mentioned before, under the Faculty of Health Sciences, we have School of Physiotherapy, which offer Diploma in Physiotherapy, Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Online Open Distance Learning, and Master of Physiotherapy. Under the Department of Environmental Health, we have Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health, Diploma in Environmental Health, Bachelor of Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, and also Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, Open and Distance Learning, and Department of Medical Imaging, offering Diploma in Medical Imaging Radiography, and also Bachelor of Medical Imaging. Master of Physiotherapy is under the School of Physiotherapy is a 1-year program for full-time mode and 2-year program for part-time mode. And here is the entry requirement for those interested in joining Master of Physiotherapy together with the English proficiency for the international students. Next, we have Bachelor of Physiotherapy, which is a 4-year program and 3-year program for those who entering using the diploma. However, is subjected to approval of credit transfer. Here is the entry requirement for those who entering for matriculation, pre-university, STPM, A-level, diploma, and other recognized qualification of equivalent together with the English requirement for the program. For Diploma in Physiotherapy, it is a 3-year program, and here is the entry requirement for those who entering from SPM, GCE and O-level, certificate and other recognized qualification of equivalence. And under the School of Physiotherapy also, we have Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Open and Distance Learning, which similar to the Bachelor of Physiotherapy conventional program, it offers a 4-year program and also 3-year program for diploma entry, however, is subjected to approval of credit transfer. And here is the entry requirement for the Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Open and Distance Learning. Next, under the Department of Environmental Health, we offering Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, which is a 4 years program, and 2.5 years program for those who entering from diploma, which is subjected to approval of credit transfer. And here is the entry requirement for those who entering from matriculation, pre-university, STPM, A-level, diploma, and other recognized qualification of equivalent together with the English requirement for the program. Next, we have Diploma in Environmental Health, which is a 3 years program. And here is the entry requirement for the Diploma in Environmental Health. Under the Department of Environmental Health, we also offering Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, Open and Distance Learning, in which, similar to the Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety conventional program, it has 4 years. It is a 4 years program and 2.5 years program for those who entering using their diploma. However, is subjected to approval of credit transfer. And here is the entry requirement for those who interest in joining the program. We introduced you to our new program, which is Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health, which is a 3 years program. And here is the entry requirement for Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health. Next, we have program under the Department of Medical Imaging, which offering Bachelor of Medical Imaging, which is a 4 years program, and 3 years program for those who from diploma entry, which is subjected to approval of credit transfer. Here is the entry requirement for Bachelor of Medical Imaging for those who entering for matriculation, pre-university, STPM, A-level, diploma, and other recognized qualification of equivalence, and also the English proficiency requirement for the program. And lastly, we have Diploma in Medical Imaging, which is a 3-year program. And this is the entry requirement for those who entering from SPM, GCE and O-level, certificate and other recognized qualification of equivalence. In Faculty of Health Sciences and MAHSA University, we have experienced and dedicated academic staff who involved in teaching and learning processes. We also offer various study modes in which either conventional or open and distance learning modes. We involve cross-teaching by the expert, in which MAHSA has the most number of health discipline in a single institution among the IPTS. We use interactive teaching and emphasize on the hands-on clinical and practical skills, in which it will be taught in face-to-face or online platform mode. We have list of hospital and institution for clinical, practical, and industrial placement. And our program is also accredited by the NQA and JPA with international recognition. For example, Bachelor of Physiotherapy having dual award with the ARU. In order to help students in terms of financial aid, MAHSA provided a lot of scholarship for the student, which involve Haji Abdullah Academic Excellence Scholarship, Foundation Scholarship, Blue Ribbon Scholarship, School Teacher Scholarship, Family Scholarship, and Single Parent Scholarship. And those who joining the program in Faculty of Health Sciences or any program in MAHSA University, you are entitled to join the PRIDE program, which is the Professional Industry-Driven Education, in which this program helps to boost your academic performance. The certification is globally accepted, and also it helps to enhance employability among the graduates. Throughout your study, students also can join mobility programs in other universities. This is among the program that has been organized by Faculty of Health Sciences throughout the year. The first one is Iryo Sosei University in Japan. We also have mobility program in Lovely Professional University in India. And also we do mobility program with the Universitas Sriwijaya Palembang, Indonesia. In terms of pathway for progression in your career, those who entering diploma and foundation in MAHSA University can pursue their study in bachelor, which after graduation, they can go straight to the employment, or they can further their study in master and also PhD. In terms of career opportunity involved in the health sciences program, those who graduate from physiotherapy have the job opportunity in hospital under the Ministry of Health or any private hospital. You can join also spine and joint center, sport physiotherapy clinics, rehabilitation center, spastic children homes, nursing homes and elderly homes, and also you can further your career as a researcher and academician in higher education institution. For those who graduate from environmental health program, you have opportunity to work with the Ministry of Health in the health district office. You can work in municipal council or any local government. You can work with port authorities, solid waste, wastewater management company, any industrial sectors, food manufacturing and hospitality industry, or you can advance your career as a researcher and academician in higher education institution. And for those who graduate from the medical imaging, employment is available in hospital under the Ministry of Health or those from any other private hospital, emergency clinic, primary care clinic, medical imaging industry, sales personnel of radiology equipment, and also you can pursue your career as well as a researcher and also academician in higher education institution. So, why wait? It's time to be more. Starting from the admission in MAHSA University, go through the orientation, academic progression, and graduation, and to pursue your dream job as well. I think that's it. Let's go back to our webinar. For those who interested in program offered by Faculty of Health Sciences, please contact us through MAHSA website or through our faculty Facebook page to know more about our program. Or simply leave a comment. We will get back to you. For your information, your question concerning this webinar session can be listed in the chat box. Before we begin, let me introduce a little bit on the webinar itself. Global warming is one of the major issues threatening the mankind since decades. It has brought negative environmental impacts and health issues to people as well. The major cause of global warming is the burning of the fossil fuel. Due to this, the rise of bioenergy is one of many diverse resources available to help meet our demand for energy, and microalgae have recently attracted considerable interest worldwide. Due to that, one of the reasons is due to their extensive application potential in renewable energy sector. It is also a promising tool for bioenergy generation and also providing a better solution for carbon dioxide biosequestration. I would like to also introduce our panels today, which is Dr. Chia Wayan.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. Dr. Chia Wayan holds a PhD in Science from University Malaya, Master of Environment from University Putra Malaysia, and Bachelor of Science in Industrial Biology from University Technology Malaysia. Dr. Chia also has 8 years of lecturing experience in MAHSA University and 4 years of industrial experience in wastewater laboratory and also food industry. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Chia to talk about today's topic.
Thank you, Ms. Muni Amira. I'm Dr. Chow from Department of Environmental Health, Faculty of Health Sciences, MAHSA University. Today, I'm going to share with you with the topics known as microalgae, the solution for global warming. So let us begin with the alarming issue that we have been facing since decades ago, which is the environmental impacts, which is global warming, climate change due to excessive combustion, excessive release emissions of carbon dioxide in the air, and it has brought a lot of environmental impacts that we have known. And what is global warming in exact? Global warming is whereby the solar radiation from the sunlight occurs when it reaches the surface of the earth, whereby it is supposed to be reflected by the earth and the atmosphere. However, because there is excessive carbon dioxide in the air and as well as methane, the greenhouse gas. So it serves as a blanket that covers the surface of the earth. Because of that, the radiation will be absorbed and in fact re-emitted at all the direction by the atmosphere. And because of this, we have global warming that is occurring. All right. And not only the negative impacts to the environment, I would like to share with you, according to WHO, World Health Organization, climate change affects human health. These are some key facts that has been raised by WHO. For example, climate change affects the social, environmental determinants of health, our clean air, our safe drinking water, sufficient food, and secure shelter. So between 2030 to 2050, climate change is expected to cause approximately 250,000 additional deaths per year because of malnutrition, because of malaria, diarrhea, and even heat stress. So this is projected to cost, which is very costly for our health services, which might cost USD of 2 to 4 billions per year by the year of 2030. So the areas with weak health infrastructure, mostly in the developing country, this country will be the least that able to cope with, all right, without assistance, because they are without assistance to prepare and to respond to the climate change. So reducing emissions of greenhouse gas through better transportation, better food, or even our choice of using the energy, not the fossil fuel, can result in improved health, particularly through reduce in air pollution. So I would like to share with you one of the references, which is the Annual Energy Outlook 2021. It stated that projection of data is stated that carbon dioxide emissions is through consumption or burning of petroleum, natural gas, and coal, which is projected to be increased, especially natural gas by 2050, and whereby petroleum remain more or less almost stagnant and coal is getting reduced in carbon dioxide emission because of combustion of this fuel. So when we look into the energy consumption by sector, mostly it is by energy sector with electric power generation. Transportation remain almost stagnant, projecting data to 2050, and as well as we can see the increase in consumption, which could be from industrial. All right, so we can see that a lot of carbon dioxide emission is from energy sector, is from industrialization, is from a lot of factors, but these will be the major carbon dioxide emitters which is projected up to year 2050. And just to share with you, there are some data that is from the research whereby it is the carbon dioxide emission is increased, has increased by 32% when compared with those days, which is since Industrial Revolution. So let's have a look at carbon cycle. All right, because of a lot of carbon dioxide being emitted from the industry, from the transportation, in fact, even human population. All right, all these activities cause combustion of fossil fuel. And what happens is this carbon dioxide goes into the air. All right, when this carbon dioxide goes into the air, we only rely on terrestrial plant to sequester the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere back into the surface of Earth. So you can see that the combustion and the rate of sequestration is actually not balanced because the consumption is too much when it compares with fixation, when it compares with carbon dioxide sequestration. All right. So there are also options for carbon management, which I would like to introduce you is CCS, which is known as carbon capture and storage, whereby the carbon from the atmosphere will be captured, will be pressurized, and also injected down to the surface of the earth. So that is what CCS means. And CCS, there is drawbacks of it. For example, it might cause leakage, it's very costly, and it is also difficult to scale up, all right, because it involves even consumption or usage of ionic liquids that is very costly. All right, another options that I will share with you is geologic storage as well. This is known as enhanced oil recovery, whereby the carbon dioxide is being injected to the saline aquifer, and this is able to push the oil towards the production well. This is another way of carbon management. So the natural way that we always heard of will be the biological sequestration, where we rely on terrestrial plant to do the sequestration. All right, but however, based on the study, terrestrial plant is just contributing 3 to 5%. All right, of reduction in carbon dioxide. All right, so it is not that effective. And another way is we are not just preventing the carbon dioxide, we are not just storing it beneath the earth, but why not return these crops, all right, into something that is marketable, all right, for environmental sustainability and of course for circular economy. So that's why we have renewable energy, all right. So the renewable energy is there, but the next question is, we have limited arable land. Are we going to use this land to plant energy crop, or we are supposed to plant food to feed the people? Are we going to fuel our car? So that's the debate comes in. All right. So to solve this problem, we have first generation of biofuel, which is just now I have mentioned, like energy crop, like sugarcane, corn oil, and so on. And after that, we have second generation, which is more into lignocellulosic biomass, like agricultural residue. And here we go for the third one, which is microalgae. All right, why microalgae? Yeah? We can see that the terrestrial plant, for example, rice husk, sugarcane bagasse, empty fruit bunch, these terrestrial plant, yes, we can produce energy, we can produce biofuel, but it also contains a lot of cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin, which is difficult for extraction, difficult for processing, and difficult to turn into biofuel. All right. In comparison to microalgae, microalgae, different species might have different composition, but in general, we can say that it contains carbohydrates that can turn into bioethanol, butanol, all right, through fermentation, lipids, all right, we can have microalgae whereby 50% of the cell biomass is actually lipids. We can turn it into biodiesel. Therefore, these microalgae serve as the third generation for feedstock for the biofuel production. All right, for microalgae, why just now I have mentioned it is the agent for biosequestration. First thing, microalgae is possessing high biomass productivity. So just imagine if terrestrial plant and microalgae. Microalgae grow in the water without stem, without roots, all right, and it can duplicate real fast when compared to terrestrial plant. Okay, it also solved the issue like just now I mentioned. It is not planting it on limited arable land, but we can cultivate it in water. All right, so this is the benefits of having microalgae as agent for sequestration at the same time to generate renewable energy. All right. So not only biomass productivity, it is good in sequestrating carbon dioxide. When it goes to microalgae, the research tells us that it can sequestrate more efficiently, which is 10 to 50 times better than a terrestrial plant. All right, and high lipid productivity whereby we can extract the lipid part of it to generate and to convert it into biodiesel. Pollutants removal is whereby if we cultivate the microalgae in water or in wastewater, all right, it can help us to treat the wastewater. This is for bioremediation of the wastewater. All right, and high tolerance towards environmental stress. In Malaysia, we can easily find microalgae in the drains. All right, so it can adapt to the environmental stress. Even high light intensity, rainy season, it can grow. All right, so the microalgae is having the benefits of because it can adapt to the environmental condition. Okay, not only that, biorefinery concept. Biorefinery concept is more into we can turn it into various applications, not only bioenergy. We can have microalgae that produce lutein, carotenoid, even the food pigment, all right, for food industry. So these are the good things of microalgae. So this is one of the pictures that reflecting what carbon sink that produced by our ocean, and you can see that the same things goes into here. Combustion take place, and in exact for the marine carbon cycle, a lot of carbon is being sequestered via the ocean. And what happens is the ocean, we have microalgae that works on it. We have even macroalgae like seaweed that's contributing to the carbon dioxide sequestration, right? So this is another picture that just now I have mentioned. It talks about microalgae cultivation, not only carbon dioxide, using sunlight and even in the wastewater, if it is being cultivated in industry, we can harvest it, we can extract the components, for example, for protein recovery, we can have animal feed, we can have pigment, anaerobic digestion, we can have biogas, even the residue after extraction, the residue biomass, we can turn it into biogas like biohydrogen and methane, all right? Anaerobic fermentation, we can have it like alcohol, and the lipid part of it, we can use it to turn into biodiesel. So this is another picture that shows that using atmospheric air, we can capture the carbon dioxide and use for microalgae cultivation. But not only the atmospheric air, we can even use the flue gas that is generated in the industry. So what happens is this flue gas, we can have carbon dioxide being separated and captured because flue gas normally it contains oxide of nitrogen, it contains sulfur dioxide, but the carbon dioxide part of it, we can capture it and we can inject it to the cultivation system. By doing so, with the right microalgae species, all right, with the right physical chemical condition, for example, the light provision, the carbon dioxide concentration, the nutrients concentration, and also many other conditions, yeah, and pH, temperature, and so on. With the right cultivation system like aeration, Alright, like provision, we can have microalgae to be cultivated. And this microalgae, of course, just now I have mentioned, we can convert it into bioenergies, we can convert it into biogas, and we can convert it into co-products. So this is another picture that shows that microalgae biomass, we can sequester the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and we can also use the carbon dioxide from the flue gas. All right. So imagine this is what flue gas cultivation is in the industry. So there are also problems and there are also solutions that proposed in one of my publication. It talks about carbon dioxide. If it is higher than 15% of carbon dioxide, we can select the microalgae that is more tolerant towards the higher concentration of carbon dioxide. All right. If the flue gas is having high temperature, we can select the thermotolerant microalgae. All right. If the flue gas contains toxic sulfur dioxide, we can desulfurize the gas before injected for cultivation. So these are a few problems that might be faced, and there is also possible solutions that can tackle the particular problem. All right. So this is some of the research that has been carried out for researchers from other countries, especially China, Taiwan, and also India, whereby there is microalgae being cultivated, and it has shows that this microalgae is cultivating using the flue gas and from the industry, yeah, and there is showing inhibited some of it, no inhibition, it can grow well, or slight inhibition, and some of it also showing no inhibition. All right, so microalgae can be grown, and it is expected to um, provide a remarkable output, all right, contribution for bioenergy and as well as for the other sectors, all right, like manufacturing, food manufacturing, like supplements and so on. So, in terms of cultivating in wastewater, um, for example, if we cultivate the microalgae, all right, in an industrial plant, we can use the carbon dioxide from the air. We can use the carbon dioxide that emitted from the plant itself, which is the flue gas. Not only that, we can apply the wastewater as the medium for microalgae cultivation. So in that case, we can have uh, attaining bioremediation of the wastewater, and not only that, the output of this microalgae cultivation, we can harvest the microalgae biomass and we can turn it into biofuel. All right. So what is the potential benefits here would be biofuel production and also environmental sustainability, whereby the water is being treated and also the flue gas is being, especially the CO2 in the flue gas will be sequestrated. All right. At the end of the day, we could have also biofuel to be produced. So there are some constraints in all this. Of course, just now I have shown some of the constraints, which is carbon dioxide in the air has been proven possible to be captured, but it is in low concentration. All right. Therefore, we can have a flue gas. All right. It depends on what is the concentration of the carbon dioxide in the flue gas. All right. We can pressurize it and inject it, all right, to the macroalgae cultivation system. All right, there is also, although there is constraint, but there are also possible solution to it. So in terms of maybe there is inhibition effects of the flue gas, therefore we would suggest no direct utilization like temperature, NOx, SO2 and acidic flue gas. However, if temperature just now I have also raised, we can have some thermotolerance species of microalgae that is able to grow at that temperature. All right, NOx, it shouldn't be so much of problem because NOx, the nitrogen is also one of the source, all right, that enable microalgae to be grown. All right, and SOS, we can have desulfurization, acidic flue gas, we have to test on the pH before before injected and before it goes to the microalgae cultivation system. All right, so in situ research on flue gas utilization for microalgae cultivation is still limited. Therefore, it needs advancement in the field so that this will be creating the promising impact, all right, to the nation. And the potential remark would be we can have genetic modified species, we can have indirect application, just like the flue gas cooling system, all right, integration of desulfurization unit, etc. And also to improve in both upstream and downstream processing. So this is how microalgae being cultivated in the industrial. As conclusion, carbon sequestration through carbon dioxide bioconversion is a natural mechanism for microalgae cultivation. It is able to bioconvert atmospheric carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide from the flue gas, leading to reduction in greenhouse gas. So microalgae contributes to renewable energy and as well as valuable co-product production and effective carbon sequestration and biorefinery approach can be achieved towards environmental sustainability and economic feasibility. So innovation is still required to bring significant advancement in the carbon dioxide biomediation, aiming toward global warming solution. So these are a few of the publications that I have been involved in the microalgae research. And thank you for your attention. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chia, for the very insightful presentation. Dear viewers, if you have any question for Dr. Chia, please leave a comment. Currently, we already received few questions from the audience. The first one is from Salparina Samad. She said that, hi, would like to ask, what is your view in renewable energy like nuclear and solar energy?
Thank you, Miss Safarina. Actually, we have nuclear and solar energy, which is quite some times ago it has been raised, and of course we have to justify the processing step, the disposal, and also the cost. All right, extraction cost and so on, because it has to be taken into consideration the energy input and output. All right, in economical wise, of course, the input has to be minimal. All right, but the output has to be maximum. All right, so the output is that able to compensate the input? All right, that is another question. All right, of course, it is good. It is something that is well known now. All right, especially solar energy in Malaysia, and um, we have to think about which one is more feasible for the application. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chia. Okay, the next question will be from Miss Fatiha Shafinas, I guess. How you and me can help to reduce global warming and rectify climate change?
Thank you for the question. In Azai, we talk about a lot of carbon management in terms of we capture it, we store it beneath the earth, we use the plant for biosequestration. All these are the method for carbon management. But if it regards with what you and me can do, it could be just simply as carpooling, reduce the electricity consumption. It can be planting more trees. All right, these are the steps that is everyone can do. All right, even waste prevention, and this could reduce the carbon footprint. This is how everyone and the public can do to contribute. All right, contribute in reduction of carbon dioxide emission. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question from Bannister Ben. Is this microalgae cultivation applicable or being practiced in Malaysia?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bannister. Microalgae cultivation, I believe it is being practiced in Malaysia, but it's not in a large scale. All right, there are pilot study. There are even, let's say, in industry, if we incorporate this microalgae cultivation just in a single tanner in the wastewater treatment, all right, and at the same time, wastewater can be treated. At the same time, flue gas, the carbon dioxide is being sequestrated. Why not? Right? So this industry to convert microalgae biomass into renewable energy or into some other products, it has to be advanced, all right, in order to make this whole thing successful. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question from Tengku Nilam Tengku Ibrahim. She said, "Hi Dr. Chia, interesting topic. Other than microalgae, is there any other alternative?"
Just like the one that I shared just now, I would say that other than microalgae, that is this is the third generation now of the fuel feedstock rather than terrestrial plant. So other than microalgae, it can be agriculture residue, all right, like grass or some other biomass that is coming up from the agriculture, all right. It can be used like wire fermentation, wire anaerobic digestion. It can still produce biogas. All right, it can still produce biogas. The thing is why microalgae is because there is there is carbohydrates, there is lipid. All right, that makes the biosequestration and that makes the duplicate or replicate of the cell faster than the terrestrial plant or faster than anything else. All right, so that is why microalgae is being chosen as the fuel feedstock for third generation. In fact, they are moving into engineering engineering concept to be incorporated in the microalgae cultivation. All right, using of artificial intelligence, all right, to make the successful microalgae cultivation, not only the cultivation part, but also the downstream process. All right, how much of energy is being used in the harvesting process, in the extraction process, and in the conversion process. All right, to make it feasible. That is another thing that it has to be studied. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can go to the next question. We have from Hazikah Kamaluddin, how to make it into full application but not a pilot study. I think she asking about how
Yeah.
to make full of application of the microalgae. Is it practically feasible?
I would say that this is still the very beginning stage, especially in Malaysia, but we can move towards it. All right, we cannot just rely on terrestrial plant. We cannot just rely on energy crops, but also if all the industry can incorporate that, all right, to make it into larger scale, I think it is feasible. But it is not in within a short period of time, but towards the future, that is how we move forward and the direction that we are going to move forward.
Okay, we have a lot of question today. The next question, uh, maybe from Mr. I think Rajan Sundra. Dr. Chia, is the microalgae applicable for wastewater treatment?
Yes, yes, definitely. Um, in Azai, if let's say even in sewage treatment, all right, of course we can say that oh it is eutrophication. There's a lot of microalgae grow, all right, it can cause greenage of the water. But if in wastewater treatment, all right, certain percentage of microalgae is good. In another words, that the pollutants that present in the wastewater, like nitrogen source, all right, phosphorus source, it can be removed from the water. All right, because that is the essential nutrients for the microalgae to grow. All right, if we make use of microalgae, all right, for harvesting for a purpose, I think this is really amazing. Yeah.
Okay. We have another question from Subra Kajang. Microorganisms are generally underrated. Better utilization of microorganisms in wastewater management will definitely have beneficial to the environment and friendly
Yeah.
approach. So he asking, will this approach comply with the EQA 1974?
Thank you, Dr. Subra, for the question. Yes, microalgae biological treatment is one of the treatment that is commonly used for wastewater management. All right, because we can have wastewater to be treated without the usage of chemicals that being pour into the included into the water. All right. So when it comes to EQA, Environmental Quality Act, of course, if the water is being treated, all right, it is being treated up to the standard, then it is why not, right? So it depends on the industry, all right, that to be incorporate these microalgae for treatment, whether it is comply with the standard of within the catchment area or outside the catchment area. Yeah.
Okay. The last question will be from Noor Faiza Abdul Razak. She said, "Hi Dr. Chia, what is the main challenge to use microalgae in Malaysia for solution for global warming?"
What is the main challenge? Thank you, Nur Faiza, for the question. What is the main challenge that I would say will be the flue gas, because the flue gas in the industry has to be investigate on the percent of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and oxides of nitrogen, whereby in different industry will have different composition in that amount of gases. All right, so that could be one of the challenge, whether the microalgae should or can be grown or not with the condition, all right, of different composition of flue gas. Therefore, before it being applied in the industry, of course, it has to be tested, all right, in a small scale so that it can be scaled up. All right, that is what could be one of the challenge is because of the composition of flue gas. But in the slide itself, just now in my presentation, I did as well mention the possible solution to the challenges.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chia. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you again, Dr. Chia Wayan, for joining us today and providing such insightful information. To our wonderful audience, thank you for joining us at this webinar. We look forward to your comments and participation at our future event hosted by MAHSA University. In case you have further inquiries, you can contact us through MAHSA website or visit our social media, or maybe you can leave a comment here and we will get back to you here. So have a pleasant day. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and thank you.